Land Rover recently gave us a quick first look at the all-new Range Rover Sport behind closed doors ahead of a first drive later this year. So, what does this latest generation of the Sport have in store for us? Well, let's start with a very quick potted history.
In 2005, when Land Rover launched the very first Range Rover Sport, it changed Range Rover from a single model to a family of cars. After that we got the Evoque and then the Velar, and they both expanded what the Range Rover was in terms of design and tech, and took it in new and interesting places. And now with this, the third generation of the Range Rover Sport, it's the Sport's turn once again to take that leap. And this is it, the brand new Range Rover Sport. Let's take a closer look at what makes this car new.
At first glance, it's the newer, simpler design that catches your eye. The new Range Rover had already adopted a cleaner look, but the Sport takes it a step further. With almost all superfluous details removed and what few little design touches remain, the delicate little side blades or the sculpted rear end now feel bolder by contrast without having to do much work. Other touches like the flush glass add to the minimalist feel that's elegant without being shouty. The Range Rover Sport feels closer in its design ethos to the Velar, and that's certainly no bad thing. The Sport is built on a new architecture which promises to be significantly stiffer, riding on dual volume air springs which Land Rover says should feel communicative while retaining a smooth ride. The 48-volt architecture anti-roll system should give a dynamic response that stops body roll through corners but allows for bumps to be absorbed. All-wheel steer is available for the first time on the Range Rover Sport, and with an added torque vectoring system, it should keep the Sport incredibly maneuverable both on and off-road. There's a new dynamic mode available as well that should enhance those spirited Sunday morning drives even further, and a brand new adaptive off-road cruise control that automatically senses the terrain you're driving on and basically handles all the pedals for you, leaving you just to focus on the steering. It won't exactly make off-roading more fun, but it will make it easier. There will be a range of engines available, but the most old-fashioned and exciting for us is the 4.4 litre twin-turbo V8 that should be good for 530 metric horsepower and a 4.5 second 0 to 62 time. It also packs 20% more torque, so the Sport should feel sufficiently sporty when you put your foot down. Mild hybrid and plug-in hybrid versions will also be available at launch, and a full EV version is promised further down the line. The Range Rover Sport now has an inbuilt noise cancelling system inside the car that can either isolate the drivers and passengers from as much outside noise as possible, or specifically pump in more engine noise to give a more thrilling ride. There's a 29-speaker Meridian sound system available, which includes speakers in the headrests for a more immersive listening experience. There are more material options available than ever, with a range of non-leather options that still look and feel incredibly premium. The PV Pro infotainment system features wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and there's a new air filtration system inside the Range Rover Sport which can clean the air of anything nasty, which, in this day and age, seems like a good idea.
So all of those new additions, new materials and design touches contribute to a newer feeling cabin. Not miles ahead of anything else in the Range Rover family, but a nice little step forward. My personal favourite though is the chopped forged carbon look. The last car I drove that had that on the interior had a Lamborghini badge. It looks so cool. I really love it. Usually I expect to see that on supercars. I love the new use of materials where we previously had leather. This is an all non-leather interior. These polyurethane seats which don't feel like leather and are not designed to feel like leather but are a sustainable alternative. I mean, this contrasting light and dark interior is not to everyone's taste, but it really shows off the quality of the materials. They feel great to the touch. This new center console which swoops up and over gives a very muscular feeling, and it makes the driver's position feel very enclosed. It gives kind of a cockpit feel within the cabin itself. It gives a more sporty feeling than any other Land Rover product at all. You're built in, you feel you're surrounded by tech and badges, and even this feels more like a fighter jet's throttle control. The wheel is a bit smaller, and although this isn't leather, it feels really nice to the touch. It's a really, really nice place to be, and the design touches that bring those exterior qualities, like the floating roof where the light and the dark contrast, making the roof feel like it's just floating on air, it's a nice little addition. It's a really nice place to be, and I think it might just be my favorite Land Rover interior to date. Ooh. So it's great to see the new Range Rover Sport in the metal, but the real test obviously will be getting to drive it. There's going to be loads of different versions available, from an entry-level diesel, mild hybrid, plug-in hybrid, and a V8, which is definitely the one I want to try out. And we will get to drive it at some point in the future. But for now, what do you think of the new design on the new Range Rover Sport? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. By the time you watch this in May, when we're allowed to show you it, we will be damn near 1 million subscribers. And if we're not, your extra one could tip us over the edge. Anyway, for now, goodbye.